With Donkey Kong finally making his comeback with Donkey Kong Bonanza, the spotlight is all back on him. But not only that, also on Pauline, who is 13 years old in this game? But wait, wasn't she kidnapped in the original arcade game as an adult? What's up with this timeline? Does Nintendo not care about the lore? Well, I do, and that's what I'm here for, to solve the Donkey Kong timeline with Bonanza in mind. So first, let's lay out the groundwork, what everyone should know by now. We start with the original Donkey Kong arcade game, where Cranky Kong, who was DK at the time, kidnaps Pauline and Mario has to save her. Then we go through the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, DK64, DKC Returns, Tropical Freeze, and now Bonanza. We know Bonanza happens after Tropical Freeze due to reasons I can't list, but we just know it, okay? With Pauline being much older by the time of the newer Mario vs. Donkey Kong games, we know those happen after Bonanza, leaving Odyssey as the last in the timeline. Yes, it's a Mario game, but Pauline is a DK character, and hell, even Mario started as a DK character, so it is ultimately important. Now that the groundwork is all laid out, you see the problem, right? How can a youthful, strong Cranky Kong kidnap an adult Pauline in the first ever game if this is what Cranky and Pauline look like now in Bonanza? Polar opposites of their initial appearances. And we know it has to be Cranky due to his dialogue in Bonanza reinforcing he had a rival in overalls. It all makes no sense, right? But luckily, there is optional dialogue in DK Bonanza to give us a hint. When you go to rest at a getaway and talk to Pauline before you sleep, she often mentions her grandma. Now, this never goes anywhere in Bonanza. So what could be the point of this? The point is to establish it wasn't Pauline kidnapped by Cranky back in the original arcade game. It was her grandma. Think of it. If Pauline is 13 by Bonanza and DK is Cranky's grandson who's adventuring with her, that would put both grandparents at a similar age and in the original arcade game. And to add on to that, after playing some more DK Bonanza, I found out Pauline has a dress named Lady Dress with a few variants, but all of them give her a blonde wig to resemble the original arcade design. This not only distinguishes them as different characters, but also poses the question, why is Pauline specifically referencing Lady? Because Lady is her grandma. Okay, a cut-in of the cut-in, because I found out more, is those alternate dress outfits are actually very significant. First, let me clarify, every outfit Pauline has in Bonanza has 3 variants. So she'll have like a Western outfit, then she'll have like a black style, and then I can't remember another style, but it will be on screen. And for the dress outfits, she has Lady Dress, which makes her look like the arcade cabinet art, blonde hair, red dress. Then she has Arcade Dress, which gives her the blonde hair, but her arcade sprite outfit that Lady has. And then the final one is called Family Dress. But she doesn't have a wig. She doesn't resemble Lady at all. So why is it a family dress and linked alongside the other Lady Dress outfits? Because her family dress is from Lady. And just more proof that Lady could be her grandma. But what about Mario? He was there too, wasn't he? Wrong. Yoshi's Island DS reveals both modern Donkey Kong and Mario are around the same age, meaning it couldn't have been Mario either. It all comes back to the grandparents being the ones at that construction site in 1981. I mean, even look at the designs in their names. This is Jumpman, who has a lot curlier of a mustache with inverted overall colors. That's Lady, who is blonde, not brunette. And she was never named Pauline in Japan until Donkey Kong 94. And then there's Donkey Kong the First, who we know is Cranky due to the lack of a tie, Donkey Kong Country 1, and his dialogue in Bonanza about rivals and overalls. Even with Jumpman being named Mario in DK Jr., that didn't stop the current DK from taking his granddad's name, so who's stopping Mario? Not only that, but everyone's roles are different. Jumpman here is a carpenter, not a plumber. Lady is known as his girlfriend. Pauline's not Mario's girlfriend anymore. And the original DK here was Jumpman's pet ape. This further solidifies these are all different characters compared to the present day DK, Pauline, and Mario, as they have totally different relationships now. So everything's solved, right? I mean, if nothing happens between DK and Pauline before Bananza, it's perfect. And Pauline never even acknowledges the events of the original arcade game, right? Right?
Wrong!
Mario Odyssey. They shouldn't even have a say in this. Makes reference to Donkey Kong kidnapping Pauline. Now, the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games should solve this, right? No, it doesn't. The festival celebrates the original arcade game where Cranky kidnapped Lady. So how does it make sense? Pauline didn't de-age in Bananza. The ending proves that. So how was Pauline kidnapped on that same construction site? Surely there's a game that proves this, right? And there is. There's Donkey Kong 94 for the Game Boy, where Mario saves Pauline from DK and DK Jr. Wait, but this is a remake of the arcade game. Not just that, it expands upon it. And DK Jr. is there too, and the DK in this game resembles a younger Cranky Kong. No, this makes it worse. These are recognizably Pauline and Mario, but that has to be Cranky. Why else would DK Jr. be there? That's his son. Why else would he look like that? It's ruined. There's no timeline. It makes no sense. All because Bananza made Pauline 13, making the whole franchise a prequel to Odyssey. It's ruined. I can't. It's done for. I quit. There's no solving it. Wait, what? This DK is wearing a tie. You're right. He has a tie. He has the iconic DK tie from his Donkey Kong Country design. Bananza even redesigned modern DK to resemble this look closer. That's it, this is modern DK. That means the story of this game could be closer to the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games than we thought. DK has an emotional outburst and kidnaps Pauline to comfort himself due to his adventures with her in Bananza. It's perfect. These games never show him being violent to her. In fact, Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2 shows him treating her very nicely, like he has a reason to care for her. And side note, the hard eyes don't mean anything romantically. He has the same eyes in the first Mario vs. DK when he sees the Mario toys. Anyways, continuing on, the end of 94 has him take a picture with Mario and Pauline like they're all friends, just like those games. It's perfect. And they all revisit the first 3 levels of the arcade game here. So now, the Odyssey Festival makes sense. I've solved it. This is the definitive Donkey Kong timeline. The only hole left in this theory now is Donkey Kong Jr. This baby ape is such a thorn in the side of the Donkey Kong timeline. The second Kong ever introduced, just to vanish after his introduction. But this isn't the only time that modern Donkey Kong has been seen with him. Look at Mario Tennis for the Nintendo 64. Who's DK's partner in that game? Donkey Kong Jr. Consider this as well. That game was made 4 years after Donkey Kong Country 1, where Diddy Kong was established and Jr. was effectively replaced. I mean, DK Jr. has even been seen with current Mario in Super Mario Kart. He even looks older there. And frankly, this Kong's design has always been inconsistent between portraying him as a big ape or a little baby. And considering he's been seen alongside both the current Mario and Donkey Kong, he isn't much a hole in this theory. In fact, he's just another piece of evidence holding it together. Now for his familial ties to DK, less important to this overall theory, but I would assume he's his father, as many already think. And though the size difference seems to indicate otherwise, look at Cranky Kong. He used to be huge, and now he's smaller than the current DK. And in tennis, DK Jr. looks the same way to me. He's hunched over and smaller than the current Donkey Kong. And don't forget, this Kong was established in the second arcade game as Cranky Kong's son. And then he vanished. And all of a sudden there's a DK the Third? With Junior missing, you would think he had some sort of role of importance. And what role is that? As DK's dad. Now there are a few things to contradict this. He is still portrayed younger than DK in DK94, and his victory animation in tennis does show him jumping into current DK's arms, which is odd, and this could even imply he's his son, which is really weird, and I doubt that, but ultimately, Junior's family role does not matter to this overall theory. And with that out of the way, the definitive Donkey Kong timeline after Bananza is complete. We start with Cranky Kong, Lady, and Jumpman, all in 1981, fighting at the construction site. After this, there's a short escapade with Cranky and his son DK Jr. against Jumpman. We then skip to the grandchild of Cranky Kong and the son of Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong III in Donkey Kong Country. We follow that trilogy of games up to 64 and continue throughout the Retro Studios duology of Returns and Tropical Freeze, ending with the all-new Donkey Kong Bananza. Bananza has DK and Pauline establish a good friendship to where he respects and feels safe with her. Years pass and he finds himself in New Donk City with his dad, DK Jr., where he then spots Pauline with Mario, and due to unknown reasons, he gets upset and takes Pauline away, revisiting their grandparents' old construction site. After that, these escapades continue in the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games, some kidnapping staged by DK and Pauline themselves showing their friendship further, all the way until Mario Odyssey, where Pauline is now the mayor of her city and celebrates Mario with a festival themed after their friend Donkey Kong. And that solves it. That is the completed Donkey Kong timeline, everything now falling into place perfectly. What do you think of this timeline? Does it solve all your questions, or does it cause more confusion? Is it logical or totally bananas? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, or else you might just find your banana hoard stolen.